The Cowabunga Collection is, you might have guessed, a collection of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games, particularly the retro ones from the franchise's most celebrated period. They've got the classic beat-em-ups here, and an absolute flood of other titles to boot. Everything from tournament fighters to that one Game Boy game I remember playing on car rides. I'm mostly here for the beat-em-ups, though. I'm glad to say that, at least offline, which is all I care about, the emulation is pretty stellar, and I was able to smack down crowds of goons with all the same flair and expertise that I earned years ago. These are good games, where the spacing between you and your opponents is crucial. It's all about controlling the flow of battle by locking down enemies with targeted assault and balanced aggression. That's what I love about old beat-em-ups. I have to be thinking super fast to play them super well. They're like lightning-fast puzzles, just lightning-fast puzzles where you slap bad guys. Excellent. And that's also part of why I'm so frustrated by what modern collections do to old games. It's not just digital eclipse, though they are the biggest offenders. The Cowabunga Collection offers save states, a rewind feature, and various other new mechanics and cheats to let you entirely bypass the design of these games, so you can just skate your way through. All of the original challenge and design can be effectively deleted with minimal effort. People don't seem to understand why this matters, and I think it's as simple as could be. Those old games were made the way they were for a reason. Their original form should be preserved for artistic posterity, and the way they were designed is meaningful. They're challenging to encourage you to gain a greater understanding of the mechanics, grow to appreciate their depth, and execute plays with increasing levels of skill. There are no character progression mechanics because it's you that's progressing. You're growing more intimate with the game and merging with its experience until you're able to hold a flawless conversation with it, so to speak. But if you use these new cheats, you didn't actually learn anything. You're just brute forcing it, and as a result, the game flow is completely different. You'll wonder why anyone loved these games to begin with. After all, if you just rewind every time you get hit, then continue smashing the attack button until it finally works, you didn't learn the boss's pattern. You don't understand why you got hit. You didn't gain anything from your time spent besides some brief entertainment from watching colors pass by on your screen. The mere inclusion of a rewind or save state feature is essentially the publisher and developer saying, the actual design is irrelevant. Who cares about self-improvement? This isn't some get good speech, alright? There are reasons that you succeed and fail in challenge-based games, and I've dedicated so much of my life to illuminating that design to people so they can better understand where those metrics of success and failure are, and better appreciate the underlying art as a whole. I've never just thrown up my limbs and shouted, "Figure it out yourself, weenie!" That's antithetical to my very existence. Also, I call these new remake features cheats, but the Cowabunga Collection doesn't call them that. No, calling something what it is, like in the old days of cheat codes, would be just too much to ask for. These game-breaking inclusions are instead called enhancements. Yeah, enhancements. Removing the design of the game, that makes it better apparently, or elsewise Digital Eclipse doesn't know what an enhancement is. This is a disgraceful and insulting label to you the player, the games, and the designers who initially made them. I understand why these changes were made, don't get me wrong. They make more people likely to play the game. But hear me out. Old art doesn't need changed. The masses are temperamental, yes, fickle and prone to bouts of impatience, but that doesn't mean we should give in to their whims for the sake of capitalist gain. I think that removes something essential in the artistic soul of work. But given how I've seen people talk about art lately, maybe we really don't care about artistry, and we just want whatever will keep us from thinking about the world around us for a moment longer. All that aside, is Cowabunga Collection good? I mean, it's a convenient way to play Hyperstone Heist, which I'm already a huge fan of, and a convenient way to play the games I missed, like Manhattan Project. And since I don't use any of the cheat features, I get the design pretty much unaltered from its original incarnation. All that said, I still feel downright gross about the collection's features, and the deliberately alienating language used. The labels we use matter, and each time we tell someone that older games are categorically worse or undeserving of uncompromising preservation, we damage our medium and the perception of our human culture. But let's say my arguments are unconvincing by themselves. Let me walk you through a fight with Leatherhead in Hyperstone Heist so I can better illustrate my points. So here's Leatherhead, or at least his rematch. He can be a bit intimidating at first because his short hops seem erratic and are deliberately made to confuse your spacing. But keep calm, remember the range of your own weapon, and stay at a distance. No matter who you are, your range should trump his, so just stay on the edge of his hitbox and whack him. Right after you finish a combo, he'll swiftly charge, and jumping is the best evasive maneuver. You have an incredible amount of air control, so moving either up or down to get clear out of the way should be a breeze. When he's against the wall after his charge, he begins tossing daggers in a predictable fashion, either advancing toward the top or bottom of the screen, depending on the wall. Simply wait for him there, whack him until your combo's finished, and he'll charge to the other wall and throw daggers again. Rinse and repeat. See? It's perfectly consistent, reasonable, and requires critical thought. I'm engaging with the design, and my reward is a deeper understanding of its mechanics. There's a strategy to every boss and to every encounter. You learn their tells, you learn your own moves, and you work within the established parameters to overcome the obstacles. All challenge comes from limitation, and we shouldn't be so quick to discard limitation for convenience's sake.